Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of US state quarter dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're diving into a true gem from the 50 State Quarters program, the 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter. This coin might seem like a simple piece of currency, but if you know what to look for, it could be worth far more than you'd ever imagine. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at just how much this quarter could fetch in today's market. The 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter was the seventh coin released as part of the U.S. Mint's ambitious 50 State Quarters program, which honored each state with a unique design. Pennsylvania's quarter showcases the state's rich history, featuring the famous Liberty Bell and the state's nickname, Virtue, Liberty, and Independence, inscribed on the coin. The design highlights the significance of Pennsylvania in American history, as it was the birthplace of the Declaration of Independence and home to the iconic Liberty Bell, symbolizing freedom and the founding ideals of the United States. Now, let's get into what makes this particular quarter so interesting for collectors. While millions of these coins were produced, there are certain factors that make some 1999 Pennsylvania quarters worth far more than just a quarter. And yes, these factors come down to rarity, minting errors, and condition, three key elements that play a huge role in a coin's value. First and foremost, let's talk about rarity. While the Pennsylvania State Quarter was widely circulated, not every coin made it through the years in pristine condition. As you can imagine, coins that are used in daily transactions can become worn and damaged, causing them to lose their value over time. But here's the exciting part. Uncirculated coins, those that look like they just came off the press, are much harder to find. If you have a 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter in flawless condition, you're looking at a rare coin that could be worth far more than its face value. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins in mint condition, and this is where the real value starts to build. Now, let's talk about the minting errors, which are often the secret sauce behind a coin's impressive value. Minting errors are the lucky finds that collectors dream about. These errors occur during the coin's production, creating small yet significant flaws that make a coin unique and highly sought after. For the 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter, one of the most desirable errors to watch for is the double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing the design to appear doubled or blurry in certain areas. If you find a quarter with doubled lettering or a duplicated Liberty Bell, that's a huge win for collectors and a serious increase in value. Another error that could make your 1999 Pennsylvania quarter extremely valuable is the clash die error. This occurs when two dies collide during the minting process, leaving a faint image from the other die on the coin. It's not a common occurrence, but when it happens, the coin becomes a one-of-a-kind piece, making it a prized addition to any collection. A 1999 Pennsylvania quarter with a clash die is definitely something to keep an eye out for, as it's a rare find in the world of coin collecting. But there's one more aspect that collectors look for when it comes to this particular coin: the design variation. Sometimes, a slight design flaw or a feature that doesn't align exactly with the rest of the coins can make a huge difference. For example, if you find a 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter with a slight misalignment in the engraving, like the letters being out of place or the image of the Liberty Bell being off-center, you found yourself a coin that's not only rare but also incredibly valuable. This kind of variation adds an extra level of intrigue and allure for collectors who are looking for something unique to add to their collection. So, what could this 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter be worth? Well, depending on its condition and whether it has any of these rare minting errors or design variations, this coin could be worth far more than just 25 cents. In fact, if you happen to own a pristine uncirculated coin or one with a valuable error, it could be worth up to $83,000. Yes, that's right, $83,000 for a single quarter. It's amazing to think that such a small coin could hold such tremendous value. For coin collectors, this is exactly why it's important to keep an eye on your quarters. Because you never know when you'll find a hidden treasure like the 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter. Whether you're sifting through rolls of coins or checking through your collection, the opportunity to find a rare, valuable coin is always out there. So, there you have it. The 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter, a coin that may seem simple on the surface, but has the potential to be worth a small fortune if you find it in the right condition or with the right minting error. If you've got one of these coins tucked away, now is the time to give it a closer look. Top 2, we're taking a closer look at the 2000 Maryland State Quarter, an iconic coin from the 50 State Quarters program. This quarter may seem like just another release, but believe me, there's much more to it than meets the eye. By the end of this video, you'll be amazed at just how valuable this seemingly ordinary coin could be. The 2000 Maryland State Quarter is part of the series that celebrated each state with a unique design, and Maryland's coin is truly something special. The reverse side features a beautiful design with the iconic Chesapeake Bay Bridge, a structure that represents the heart of Maryland's natural beauty and engineering prowess. Beneath the bridge, the words Maryland and the Old Line State are inscribed, paying tribute to the state's role in American history and its strategic importance during the Revolutionary War. The coin also includes a sailboat, which represents Maryland's maritime heritage, making it a perfect encapsulation of the state's identity. Now, you might be thinking, it's just another state quarter. What's the big deal? Well, this is where things get interesting. While the 2000 Maryland quarter was released in large numbers, certain factors make some of these coins significantly more valuable than others. The main factors we're talking about today are rarity, minting errors, and coin condition, each of which can dramatically affect how much these coins are worth. So, let's break it down. First, let's discuss rarity. It's true that millions of these Maryland quarters were produced and circulated. However, the condition of these coins plays a massive role in their value. As with any coin, the majority of them were used in everyday transactions, which means they've seen their fair share of wear and tear. But here's the catch. If you have one of these quarters in uncirculated condition, meaning it looks as if it just came out of the mint with no wear, scratches, or scuff marks, you're holding a rare and valuable piece of history. Uncirculated coins are always in high demand, and collectors will pay a premium for those in pristine condition. But that's not the only factor that makes this coin valuable. Minting errors are a huge game changer in the world of coin collecting. These errors can make a coin one of a kind, and they're highly sought after by serious collectors who are looking for unique and rare pieces to add to their collections. For the 2000 Maryland State Quarter, one of the most desirable errors is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin doesn't align properly, resulting in a design that appears doubled or blurry. If you happen to find a 2000 Maryland quarter with a double die, particularly around the letters or the bridge design, it could significantly increase its value. It's a subtle error, but it makes the coin stand out in a big way. Another error to keep an eye out for is the clash die error. This happens when two dies used to strike coins collide, leaving an impression from one die on the other. If you spot faint, unusual markings or designs on the coin that don't belong, it could be a clash die error, making your 2000 Maryland State Quarter even more valuable. These coins are highly collectible because they're unique, and collectors love the idea of owning a coin that was struck in such a rare way. And there's one more reason why the 2000 Maryland State Quarter is so valuable: design variations. Sometimes, even the slightest misalignment in the design can make a huge difference in a coin's value. If the bridge is slightly off-center, or if there's any other anomaly in the engraving, that small imperfection can make your coin a lot more desirable to collectors. These subtle differences are often overlooked by the general public, but for those in the know, they're like gold.so. What could a 2000 Maryland State Quarter be worth? Well, if you happen to have one in uncirculated condition or one that features a minting error like the double die or clash die, you could be looking at a coin worth far more than its face value. Some of these rare quarters have been known to fetch as much as $79,000. Yes, that's $79,000 for a single quarter. It's incredible to think that something as small and simple as a state quarter could hold such a massive value. This is why it's so important to check your coin collection, your change jar, or even those rolls of coins you've been holding on to. You might just have a rare find hidden in plain sight, and you never know when that next quarter could be worth a fortune. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and you could be just one coin away from discovering a real treasure. Top 3, we're about to take you on a journey into the wild beauty of the Sooner State with a coin that's not only visually stunning, but could also be hiding a big-time value. That's right, we're talking about the 2008 Oklahoma State Quarter. While it may look like any other quarter at first glance, there's a chance this little piece of metal could be worth a jaw-dropping amount if you happen to have the right one. So stick around, pay close attention, and let's dive deep into what makes this quarter so special. released as part of the final stretch of the 50 State Quarters program. The 2008 Oklahoma State Quarter is a striking tribute to one of the most naturally rich and culturally vibrant states in America. The reverse side of the coin features the majestic image of the scissor-tailed flycatcher, Oklahoma's state bird, soaring elegantly across the coin with its long tail feathers trailing behind. It's surrounded by a cluster of Indian blanket wildflowers, a native bloom that adds both beauty and meaning to the design. This coin is a symbol of freedom, nature, and state pride, all packed into just 25 cents. But now comes the real question. How can a coin that was produced in such large numbers become so incredibly valuable? Well, here's where things get really exciting for collectors. While millions of these quarters were minted and spread across the country, not all of them are created equal. In fact, only a handful possess the rare traits and errors that skyrocket their value into the thousands and beyond. Let's talk about what you need to look for. First, let's talk about condition. The vast majority of these Oklahoma quarters were circulated and spent in everyday use, meaning they picked up scratches, dings, and general wear. But if you have one that's in uncirculated condition, meaning it looks fresh, shiny, and untouched, you're already in a great position. Uncirculated coins are much rarer and always more desirable to collectors. But the real jackpot comes when that pristine condition meets something even more exciting, a minting error. Now, minting errors are the stuff coin collector dreams are made of. They turn regular coins into rare collectibles, and the 2008 Oklahoma State Quarter has some particularly intriguing ones. One of the most fascinating is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck more than once with slight misalignment, causing the images or letters to appear slightly doubled or shadowed. If you spot doubling on the words Oklahoma or in the feathers of the bird, you might just be holding something incredibly rare. Another error to keep your eyes peeled for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not perfectly aligned in the press, resulting in part of the design being pushed off the edge of the coin. A significant off-center strike can increase the value of a quarter dramatically, especially when combined with a clean, uncirculated surface. There's also the ever-coveted die clash, an error that results when the minting dies collide without a coin between them, leaving impressions of the design elements in unintended areas. If your Oklahoma quarter has ghost-like images or unusual marks, it could be the result of a die clash, and that's a serious attention grabber for seasoned collectors. And here's one more twist. Some collectors have found Oklahoma quarters with what's called a cut error, a raised, blob-like area usually near the coin's edge, caused by a piece of the die breaking off. These quirky flaws are not only fascinating but incredibly rare, and the right collector will pay handsomely for them. So, why is this coin so exciting for collectors? Because it combines beautiful design, historical significance, and the potential for extremely rare minting errors. It's the kind of coin that tells a story, both about Oklahoma and about the fascinating world of U.S. minting. Every so often, one of these special quarters surfaces, and when it does, collectors go crazy for it. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. What could a 2008 Oklahoma State Quarter actually be worth? If you're lucky enough to have one in uncirculated condition, and especially if it has one of the rare errors we talked about, like a double die, an off-center strike, a die clash, or a cut, you could be looking at a coin worth as much as $76,000. Yes, you heard that right, $76,000 for a quarter that might be hiding in your change jar right now. This is why coin collecting is so thrilling, because even the smallest coin can carry a massive surprise. So go ahead, dig through your old coin collection, check your pocket change, or go through that forgotten coin jar on your dresser. Who knows? You might just find the next rare treasure. Top 4 were saddling up and heading to the Lone Star State to explore a quarter that's got collectors buzzing. The 2004 Texas State Quarter. You might have seen one before, maybe even held it in your hand. But what if we told you that a rare version of this coin could be worth more than you ever imagined? Released in 2004 as part of the U.S. Mint's popular 50 State Quarters program. The Texas Quarter is a bold tribute to one of the most iconic and pride-filled states in the country. The reverse side of the coin features a large, confident outline of Texas with a lone star, a nod to the state's nickname, and a lariat, or rope, encircling the design, symbolizing Texas's strong and independent spirit. The date of statehood, 1845, is included to remind us all that Texas joined the Union on its own terms. But what turns this stunning design into a possible jackpot? Well, that's what we're here to uncover. because buried in the millions of 2004 Texas quarters minted are a few rare specimens that collectors would pay top dollar to get their hands on. So if you have one of these in your collection or even in your change jar, it might be worth giving it a second look. Let's talk about what makes a coin like this truly valuable. The key ingredients: rarity, condition, and minting errors. Each one of these factors can significantly increase a coin's value. But when all three line up in a single quarter, that's when things get really exciting. First, we start with condition. Most coins in circulation pick up wear and tear pretty quickly: scratches, dings, discoloration. But a coin in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used in everyday transactions and still has that fresh, flawless shine, is much harder to find. These coins, especially when stored properly in coin holders or mint sets, are the foundation of any valuable collection. Now here's where it gets juicy: minting errors. These are the little mistakes that happen during the production process at the U.S. Mint. They're rare, unintentional, and incredibly valuable to collectors. For the 2004 Texas quarter, there are a few notable errors that could dramatically raise its price point. One of the most sought after is the double die error, where elements of the coin's design, like the lettering or parts of the lariat, appear slightly doubled due to a misalignment during striking. This creates a ghost-like second image that makes the coin unique and highly desirable. Then there's the off-center strike, where the coin's design is not properly aligned and ends up pushed to one side. These kinds of errors are visually striking and instantly recognizable, and depending on how far off-center it is, the value can shoot up significantly. Another prized variety is the die crack error, where you might see raised lines or marks on the coin caused by a fracture in the die used to strike it. These cracks can create wild patterns across the coin, and no two are exactly alike, making each one a one-of-a-kind collector's item. Some even report finding cut errors on Texas quarters. Those little blobs near the rim of the coin where a piece of the die broke off and left an odd raised area. These are quirky, rare, and often overlooked by casual collectors, but seasoned enthusiasts know just how special they are. And let's not forget about planchet errors, where the metal blank used to strike the coin has defects or was improperly prepared. These can result in underweight or overweight coins, coins with missing parts of the design, or even the use of the wrong metal alloy. All of these quirks can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. Now combine one of these rare minting errors with a coin in pristine, uncirculated condition, and you've got yourself a potential goldmine. So now for the big question. How much could a rare and error-filled 2004 Texas State quarter actually be worth? Well, if you've got one in perfect condition, especially with a prominent minting error like a double die, off-center strike, or planchet flaw, you might just be sitting on a coin valued at up to $73,000. Yes, you heard that right. $73,000 for a single quarter. And to think it could be hiding in your drawer, your wallet, or at the bottom of that old coin jar. That's why coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a treasure hunt. Every quarter tells a story, but some tell a story worth a small fortune. So check your change, go through your old rolls of coins, and keep your eyes peeled. You never know when you might come across one of these rare gems. Top 5. We're traveling far beyond the mainland United States to a place with a rich cultural heritage and stunning beauty: Guam. That's right, we're talking about the 2009 Guam quarter, part of the U.S. Mint's Territory Quarter series. Now, don't let its tropical charm fool you. This coin may just be sitting quietly in a drawer or change jar somewhere, but certain rare versions of it are turning heads and making waves in the collector's market. You see, while most people recognize the original 50-state quarters program, fewer know that in 2009, the U.S. Mint extended the series to include 6 additional territories, including Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and yes, Guam. And that's where our story begins. The 2009 Guam quarter features a design that beautifully represents the island's identity. On the reverse, you'll find a bold outline of the island of Guam, a traditional canoe known as a flying prow, and a latte stone, a pillar-like structure once used by the ancient Chamorro people. These symbols showcase the deep cultural roots and proud seafaring history of the island. It's a design that doesn't just look great. It tells a story, one that connects the past with the present. Now, let's dive into what makes this quarter so intriguing and, in some cases, incredibly valuable. While millions of these coins were minted, only a small handful are worth more than their face value. Why? It all comes down to a few important factors: rarity, condition, and minting errors. Let's start with condition. As with all coins, Those that have been circulated, passed from hand to hand, tossed in pockets, dropped in vending machines, tend to show signs of wear. But the Guam quarters that are truly valuable are those that were never circulated. These uncirculated coins still have their sharp, mint-fresh details and a glossy, untouched surface. They've likely been kept safely in a protective holder or collector's case since the day they were made. If you've got one in flawless condition, you're already ahead of the game. But the real magic happens when that perfect condition is paired with something even rarer, a minting error. Minting errors are the holy grail of coin collecting. They're small mistakes that happen during the production process at the U.S. Mint, and while they might seem like flaws, they actually make coins more valuable, sometimes astronomically so. For the 2009 Guam quarter, collectors have identified several rare and exciting errors. One of the most talked about is the double die error, where parts of the design, especially letters or details like the canoe or the island outline, appear slightly doubled. It's a subtle mistake, but it creates a very noticeable effect that makes the coin incredibly rare. Another fascinating error is the off-center strike, where the coin isn't properly aligned when it's struck by the minting press. This results in part of the design being cut off or shifted. If the off-center error is dramatic and the date is still visible, collectors are willing to pay a premium for it. Some Guam quarters have also been found with clashed dies, where the coin dies strike each other without a blank coin in between. This leaves behind ghost-like images and strange outlines on the surface of the coin. These eerie markings make the coin truly one of a kind. There are even a few reports of planchet errors, where the metal disc that becomes the coin has defects like cracks, missing edges, or unusual compositions. These are extremely rare, but when they occur, they can turn a simple quarter into a collector's dream. Now, here's something that really excites coin lovers: combinations. That's right. Sometimes a Guam quarter can have more than one of these errors at the same time. Imagine a double die and an off-center strike on a coin in uncirculated condition. That's a collector's jackpot. But why does all this matter? Because coin collectors around the world are always searching for the next big find. A coin that breaks the mold, tells a unique story, and stands apart from the rest. And the 2009 Guam quarter, when found with the right mix of rarity, error, and condition, is exactly that kind of coin. So here's the moment you've been waiting for. If you happen to have a 2009 Guam quarter that is in uncirculated condition and features one of these highly prized minting errors, it could be worth as much as $70,000. Yes, you heard that right. $70,000 for a single quarter. That it's amazing to think that something so small, something that might have once bought a pack of gum, could actually be a life-changing find. And that's what makes coin collecting so thrilling. It's a mix of history, art, and the thrill of the hunt. And sometimes, just sometimes, it pays off in the most unbelievable way. So, go check your collection. Look through your pocket change. Pull out those old coin jars and boxes from the attic. You might just have a treasure hiding in plain sight. Thanks for joining us today on this fascinating journey through the world of rare coins. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future discoveries. Until next time, happy collecting, and remember, the next time you find a coin in your pocket, take a second look. It might just be worth more than you ever imagined.